Halina mga bata, tayo ng math-aral. Sa math, walang maiiwan. Mathsayang math-aral, tayo ng mathtuto upang ika'y umasenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina math-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina math-aral na tayo. Halina math-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 math-aral na tayo.
Good afternoon once again mga Batang MANDunong. Welcome to our Project SOAR, or the series of online academic reviews in mathematics for week 7. Actually, no? So thank you very much, Sir Jonathan, for a very comprehensive review discussion for week 7 for grade 8. So huwag na natin patagalin. Let's proceed to the review lesson for grade 9 naman. Okay, let me introduce our review teacher for this session. Okay, so he is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics at Rizal Technological University, a civil service professional level passer, an entrepreneur, and he is a teacher from Ilaya Barangka Integrated School. Ladies and gentlemen, mga batang mandunong, let us all welcome Mr. Gerald Fritz Nacario. Sir, it's your turn. Good luck po.
Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss about transforming, solving, and graphing quadratic functions. At the end of this session, you should be able to transform quadratic functions from general form to vertex form and vice versa, and solve and graph quadratic functions. So let us define first what is quadratic functions. When we say quadratic functions, these are functions that can be written in the form y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. The graph of a quadratic function is a curve called a parabola. The general form of a quadratic function is y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So based sa definition natin kanina, a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. The vertex form naman ng quadratic function is y is equal to a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k, wherein h and k is the vertex of the parabola. Now, let us transform quadratic functions from general form to vertex form. For example number 1, we have y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 3. So, ang una natin gagawin is igugrupo natin yung terms na may variable. Ibig sabihin, yung x squared at yung 2x, ilalagay natin siya sa loob ng parentheses. We have y is equal to the quantity of x squared plus 2x plus 3. Next step is gagawin nating perfect square trinomial yung expression na nasa loob ng parentheses. Maghahanap tayo ng value na i-add sa kanya para maging perfect square trinomial. Pero lagi niyong tatandaan na kapag nag-add tayo sa expression na nasa loob ng parentheses, magma-minus naman tayo sa constant. So to solve for that value, we will use b over 2 squared. Then dito sa expression natin na nasa loob ng parentheses, ang value ng b is 2. So we have 2 over 2 squared, which is equal to 1 squared, and the result is 1. So we have y is equal to the quantity of x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 3 minus 1. Then just simplify this equation. We have y is equal to the quantity of x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 2. Then since perfect square trinomial na yung expression na nasa loob ng parentheses, isusulat natin siya into square of binomial. The result is y is equal to the quantity of x plus 1 squared plus 2. So this is now the vertex form. For example number 2, we have y is equal to 2x squared minus 8x minus 5. So, unang step ulit na gagawin natin is igugrupo natin yung terms na may variable. Ibig sabihin yung 2x squared at negative 8x, ilalagay natin siya sa loob ng parentheses. We have y equals the quantity of 2x squared minus 8x minus 5. Then next, since ang a natin is greater than 1, ifa-factored out natin siya. The result is y equals 2 times the quantity of x squared minus 4x minus 5. Next step is gagawin nating perfect square trinomial yung nasa loob ng parentheses. So mag-iisip tayo ng value na i-add kay x squared minus 4x para maging perfect square trinomial. Then, since mag-add tayo dun sa expression na nasa loob ng parentheses, magbabawas naman tayo dun sa constant. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, nagkaroon ng 2 dun sa dulong part para maging balanse pa rin yung ating equation. So to solve for that value, we are going to use b over 2 squared. Then sa expression na nasa loob ng parenthesis, ang value ng b natin is negative 4. So we have negative 4 over 2 squared, which is negative 2 squared, and the result is 4. Then we have y is equal to 2 times the quantity of x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 5 minus 2 times 4. Then just simplify this equation. We have y is equal to 2 times the quantity of x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 5 minus 8. Then y equals 2 times the quantity of x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 13. Then since perfect square trinomial na yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, isusulat natin siya into square of binomial. We have y is equal to 2 times the quantity of x minus 2 squared minus 13. So this is now the vertex form. Let us proceed in transforming quadratic functions from vertex form to general form. For example number 1, we have y is equal to the quantity of x plus 1 squared plus 2. So ang una nating gagawin is to expand x plus 1 squared. So para ma-expand natin siya, i-apply natin yung concept of square of binomial, or you can use FOIL method. We have y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 2. And just simplify this equation. The result is y is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 3. So this is now the general form. Example number 2, we have y equals 2 times the quantity of x minus 2 squared minus 13. So ang una natin gagawin is to expand x minus 2 squared. So we have 2 times the quantity of x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 13. Next is i-apply natin yung distributive property. So yung 2, imumultiply natin siya sa lahat ng terms na nasa loob ng parenthesis. The result is 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 minus 13. And just simplify this equation. We have y is equal to 2x squared minus 8x minus 5. So this is now the general form. Bago tayo makapag-solve and graph ng quadratic functions, dapat muna nating alamin yung iba't ibang properties ng quadratic function. The first property is the opening of the parabola. If the value of a is greater than 0, the parabola opens upward and has a minimum point. If a is less than 0, the parabola opens downward and has a maximum point. Second is intercepts. To determine the intercepts, let x is equal to 0 to find the value of y, and also let y equal 0 to solve for x. The third one is vertex. If the quadratic function is expressed in the form y equals the quantity of x minus h squared plus k, the vertex is the point hk. If it is in the form y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, the vertex is h is equal to negative b over 2a, and k is equal to 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. The fourth property is axis of symmetry. This is the line x is equal to h. Next is the minimum or the maximum value. This is the value of k. For the domain, it is the set of all real numbers, and lastly is the range. The range depends on whether the parabola opens upward or downward. If it opens upward, the range is the set of all y such that y is greater than or equal to k. If it opens downward, then the range is the set of all y such that y is less than or equal to k. Since alam na natin yung iba't ibang properties ng quadratic function, let us proceed in solving and graphing. For example number 1, we have y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. So, kailangan muna nating alamin yung opening ng parabola, the intercept, the vertex, axis of symmetry, the minimum or the maximum value, domain, and range. So, for the opening of the parabola, since A is equal to 1 and it is positive, then the opening of the parabola is upward. Next is intercept. For y-intercept, we let x equals 0. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng x magiging 0. We have y equals 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 3. Then y equals 0 plus 0 minus 3. The result is negative 3. For y-intercept, we have point 0, negative 3. Next is x-intercept. For x-intercept, we let y equals 0. So, yung y naman yung magiging 0 natin. So, 0 equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Then, kung mapapansin nyo, yung expression na x squared plus 2x minus 3 is factorable. So, hahanapin natin yung factors niya. The factors are x plus 3 and x minus 1. The next is, i-equate natin both factors to 0. We have x plus 3 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. So for the values of x, we have x equals negative 3 and x equals 1. So the x-intercepts are negative 3, 0, and 1, 0. The third one is the vertex. So to solve for the vertex, we need to identify first the values of A, B, and C. So yung value ng A natin is 1, B equals 2, and C is negative 3. Then, gagamitin na natin yung formula na H equals negative B over 2A and K equals 4AC minus B squared all over 4A. So, start tayo kay H. To solve for H, just substitute the values of B and A. So we have negative 2 all over 2 times 1. Then, we have negative 2 over 2. The answer is negative 1. So yung value ng H natin is negative 1. Let us proceed to K. So just substitute the value of A, B, and C. We have 4 times 1 times negative 3 minus 2 squared all over 4 times 1. Then, negative 12 minus 4 all over 4. The result is negative 16 over 4 or negative 4. So, yung value naman ng K natin is negative 4. Ano yung magiging vertex? The vertex is point negative 1, negative 4. For the axis of symmetry, since na-solve na natin yung H, madali na nating malalaman yung axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is x equals H. So we have x equals negative 1. For the minimum or the maximum value, since the opening of the parabola is upward, ang i-consider natin is minimum value. And equal siya dun sa value ni K. So the minimum value is y equals negative 4. For the domain, it is the set of all real numbers. And for the range naman, paano natin malalaman yung range? Ito ay nakadepende sa opening ng parabola at kay K. So for the range, we have the set of all y such that y is greater than or equal to negative 4. So here is the graph of the quadratic function y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. So kung mapapansin nyo dun sa graph, nandun yung x-intercept, which is negative 3 and 0, and 1 and 0. Nandun din yung y-intercept, which is 0 and negative 3, the axis of symmetry, or the line that divides the parabola into two equal parts, and yung vertex, which is the turning point of the parabola, which is negative 1, negative 4. So this is now the graph of y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. Let's have example number 2. We have y equals negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 3 squared plus 8. So, ganun pa rin, hahanapin natin yung opening of the parabola, the intercepts, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the minimum or the maximum value, domain, and range. So, let's start with the opening of the parabola. The value of a is negative 2. Since it is negative, the opening of the parabola is downward. Next is intercepts. For y-intercept, we let x equals 0. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng x natin magiging 0. So, y equals negative 2 times the quantity of 0 plus 3 squared plus 8. Then, y equals negative 2 times 3 squared plus 8. The result is negative 2 times 9 plus 8. Then negative 18 plus 8. So the answer is negative 10. So for y-intercept, we have point 0 and negative 10. For x-intercept, we let y equals 0. So 0 equals negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 3 squared plus 8. Next is itra-transpose natin yung positive 8 sa kabilang side ng equation. So we have negative 8 equals negative 2 times x plus 3 squared. Then, divide both sides by negative 2. The answer is 4 equals x plus 3 squared. Then, get the square root of both sides. We have the square root of 4 equals the square root of x plus 3 squared. So the answer is positive or negative 2 equals x plus 3. Then ang gagawin natin, i-equate natin yung x plus 3 sa positive 2 at sa negative 2. So we have x plus 3 equals 2 and x plus 3 equals negative 2. So we have x equals 2 minus 3. The answer is x equals negative 1. Doon naman sa isa, we have x equals negative 2 minus 3. Then x is equal to negative 5. So our x-intercepts are negative 1, 0 and negative 5, 0. The third one is vertex. Since yung given equation na natin is naka-vertex form, mas madali na nating ma-identify yung value ng h at ng k. So for h, we have negative 3 and k equals 8. So the vertex is point negative 3, 8. How about the axis of symmetry? Ang axis of symmetry is x is equal to h. So we have x equals negative 3. Next is the minimum or the maximum value. Yung minimum or maximum value is nakadepende sa opening ng parabola. Since it is downward, ang i-consider natin is maximum value. Then, equal siya sa value ng k. So, we have the maximum value, which is y equals 8. For the domain, it is the set of all real numbers. And for the range naman, nakadepende ulit ito sa opening ng parabola at kay k. Kapag ang opening ng parabola is downward, ang gagamitin natin is less than or equal. So we have y or set of all y such that y is less than or equal to 8. This is now the graph of y is equal to negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 3 squared plus 8. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung opening ng graph natin or ng parabola is downward. Then makikita nyo rin yung x-intercepts natin, which is negative 5, 0 and negative 1, 0. Nandyan din yung y-intercept natin, which is 0 and negative 10. Mapapansin nyo rin dyan yung axis of symmetry natin or the line that divides the parabola into two equal parts. And lastly is the vertex or the turning point of the parabola, which is located at negative 3 and 8. That's all for this session. I hope you've learned something from me. Thank you.